Welcome, seekers of hidden truths, to the premiere of Ancestry Stories of a Time Traveler, Episode 1 The Nathaniel Lawson Story, a Kentucky Union Rebel. I'm your guide, weaving tales from family research, dusty archives, and relentless detective work from my ancestry. These stories, rooted in fact yet pulsing with drama, honor lives nearly lost to time. In an era where many barely know who their great-grandparents are, I'm here to reconnect us to our roots, celebrating the sacrifices, resilience, and grit of our ancestors that shaped us as Americans, survivors, and thrivers. Today we uncover the saga of Nathaniel Nathan Lawson Sr., one of my paternal great-grandfathers. Discovered through 2 years of passionate research, as a combat veteran, his story of sacrifice, pain, and resilience deeply resonates with my soul and heritage. It inspires me to bring his journey to life, sharing both its hardships and triumphs to ensure such stories endure. After leaving a troubled post-Civil War Kentucky for Indiana, his son, Nathan Jr., my other grandfather, likely carried memories of brighter days. This journey isn't about taking sides from the Civil War. It's an unbiased lens on a life, offering resolution for Nathan Sr.'s soul and inspiration for us all. My mission is to establish a historical marker in Cornishville, Mercer County, to honor my grandfather's legacy. Join me in keeping these stories alive. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share your opinion and your own family tales and ideas so we can grow as a community. I welcome constructive criticism for my editing and storyline mashup. I'm a newbie in the YouTube creator world. Nathaniel Lawson Sr. was born March 15th, 1804, in Perryville, Mercer County, Kentucky. The area he grew up in was in fertile land, frontier promises, son of Barry Lawson, a War of 1812 veteran. Barry Lawson married Mary Elizabeth Sherman, who has Virginia roots going back to Charlotte County, Virginia, similarly to Barry Lawson's coming from Virginia as well. Barry Lawson was born around 1776 and he died in 1833. He served as a private in the 15th Regiment Kentucky Militia under Lieutenant Colonel Gabriel Slaughter, later Kentucky's 7th governor. Organized November 10th, 1814, the Kentucky Militia in Mercer County for the New Orleans campaign in the War of 1812. The regiment's 700 men arrived January 4th, 1815, aiding Andrew Jackson's victory at the Battle of New Orleans, with minimal losses, wielding private weapons amid supply delays. This legacy of duty shaped Nathan Sr., a farmer in Kentucky's bluegrass. The Lawsons wove into Virginia's Sherman family, with lore hinting ties to Roger Sherman, signer of all 4 founding documents, including the Continental Association, Declaration of Independence, Articles of Confederation, and the Constitution. And the Nathan Lawsons in general, possibly related to Tecumseh Sherman, a Civil War Union general, blending revolutionary zeal with frontier grit. In 1824, at 20 years old, Nathan married Margaret Peggy Devine on February 28th in Mercer County. Peggy was born around 1806 from a Virginia-rooted family as well. She bore children like names given Mary, Barry, Sarah, Nathan, Melinda, James, and John, about 9 in total. They farmed near Cornishville, a hamlet on the Mercer-Washington County line, central Kentucky, between Louisville and Lexington, closer to the latter. Harrodsburg, Danville, Springfield, and Bardstown were nearby hubs. In 1845, Peggy died in Washington County, leaving Nathan a widower at 41. He wed Mariah Ann Pierce Rice on August 25th that year, all in all fathering approximately 16 children in total. By 1867, at 63 years old, Nathan lived quietly with Mariah. He wasn't known to have military service recorded, as he was born and lived in between times of the major wars. But he was a Unionist heart and had a Union heart in a fractured state of Kentucky. Kentucky, a border state, stood at the Civil War's crossroads, erupting April 12, 1861 at Fort Sumter, South Carolina. When Confederate demanded Union surrender, Lincoln, needing its rivers for logistics, said he must have Kentucky to win the Civil War. Neutral at first, it leaned Union by 1862, but Confederate sympathies simmered. Mercer County, Nathan's home, was Unionists, yet vigilante regulators, mobs enforcing their justice, targeted disloyalty, deserters, or criminals. In central and eastern Kentucky, extrajudicial terror flared, especially post-war Civil War. Lynching, a harsh reality, wasn't just aimed at African Americans. In America's early years, it was a grim vigilante norm, named for Charles Lynch, born 1736, died 1796. He was a Virginia planter who, during the Revolutionary War, ran irregular courts, punishing British loyalists without trials, birthing Lynch's Law. As a northerner who moved south below the Mason-Dixon line a year ago, I felt history's weight here. Driving these roads, I stop at historical markers, absorbing tales absent in the Midwest. One local marker told of a white man's lynching, a shock, the South's passion, semi-traditional soul, an honor for its history in all its shades, black, white, gray, fuel my love for it despite my roots. On July 1st, 1867, in Cornishville, near the Washington-Mercer line, south of Shelbyville's lynching-marked lands, a mob of 35 to 100 stormed Nathan's home, a known Union man with 2 or 3 sons in the Union Army. He was accused of disloyalty per the Confederate sympathizers. They dragged the 63-year-old from his house. One son fled out the back with another member. Escaping, the other brothers were absent. Nathan, defenseless, faced the rage. The regulators hung him from a nearby tree around late hours on a Saturday night, his body hanging as a grim warning in the Kentucky twilight. Newspapers immortalized the horror, like the Louisville Daily Courier, August 5th, 1867, page 1. Courier Journal, August 1st, page 2, and Danville Gazette called Nathan a Union man with sons in the Army. The Frankfort Commonwealth, August 2nd, page 2, Kentucky Gazette, August 14th, the Weekly Maysville Eagle, the Tri-Weekly Maysville Eagle, Journal and Courier in Lafayette, Indiana, Evansville Daily Journal, Public Ledger out of Memphis, Tennessee, and Knoxville Weekly Whig, Tennessee, echoed the outrage. From Louisville Daily Journal to Lexington Observer and Reporter, they painted a divided Kentucky where regulators preyed on the vulnerable. Nathan's courage shone through. Whether the Civil War was about ending slavery or uniting the states, he stood firm for the Union, unafraid to voice his convictions in a hostile land. His passion mirrors my own. When I believe in something, I burn for it. This connection grounds me, reminding me who I am and where I come from, and why I chase these stories with such fire and passion. This tragedy wasn't just Nathan's death, it shattered a family. Since moving south, I've felt its weight, stopping at markers, like I talked about earlier, similar to the one in my town nearby about a white man's lynching. Again, to reflect the South's raw honesty about its past, unlike the Midwest's silence, inspires me. I dream of a marker for Nathan in Cornishville, joining Shelbyville's to honor his stand. The aftermath was toxic. Nathan's son, Nathaniel Lawson Jr., my ancestor, couldn't stay in a divided Kentucky post-war. He decided to organize his belongings and his family and made a great migration to central Indiana. He was a former Union cavalryman, captured and held as a POW at Andersonville, one of the most infamous prisons by the Confederates, and Libby Prison in Richmond, Virginia, amongst other less-known prisons. He survived war's horrors. Post-1867, he led his family to Delaware County, Indiana. All in all, he fathered 11 to 12 children, including my great-grandmother's line among them. His courage, raw, unyielding, will star in our next episode, exploring his battles, prison survival, in prisons like Andersonville and Libby Prison, and show his resiliency and his spirit. Nathan Sr.'s story demands remembrance. In Cornishville's fields, a man's life ended in justice, but his legacy endures. Inspired viewers, our ancestors' sacrifices echo. Reclaim your roots. Thrive as they did. Research your ancestry. And remember where you come from. We aren't just white people. We have culture. We have backgrounds. Please subscribe, share, and time travel with me. Your past is your power.